In part 2 of the speaking test, you will be asked to describe something. The first instruction at the top of the task card will be using a specific tense, which you will probably be using a lot when you speak. For instance, if the instruction says, describe a place you often go in your free time, it is focusing on the present simple tense, talking about somewhere you go regularly. You will probably spend most of your 2 minutes speaking in the present tenses. Or the instruction might say something like this. Describe a subject you would like to study in the future. In this case, you will probably focus most of your speaking on the future tenses. There is no point focusing on the exact tense you are using when you're speaking in the test. There is no time for this. You need to keep your fluency and avoid hesitations. But I do tell a lot of my students to try to mix up the tenses a bit by adding information about the past, present, and future, even if the task is focused on a specific time. I like to call this the PPF approach. During your preparation time, you should try to think of something to talk about the 2 other times that the task does not focus on. So if the task is about something in the past, you still try to bring in a bit of information about the present and the future. For example, the task describe a place you often go in your free time is focused on the present tenses. But you may want to add some ideas about a specific time you went there in the past. Even think of a short story you could tell about it, using the ideas from the previous video. Then you need to think of some way to bring in future information. Maybe about the next time you plan to go to this place. The focus is still the present tenses, but this will give you a way to bring in other tenses without thinking about it too much. The idea here is not to be too worried about the grammar or specific tense you are using. As soon as you start doing this, your speech will probably slow down and sound more broken. The main focus for part 2 is always your ideas and then impressing the examiner with some good and appropriate vocabulary. However, your range of grammar is assessed and you need to think of ways to show the examiner you can use a variety of simple and complex sentences and tenses. By having some ideas on the past, present, and future tenses, you will hopefully mix the tenses more naturally and flow from one to the other when explaining different ideas. Give this approach a try the next time you practice part 2 and see how it goes. Thanks for watching. If you found the video useful, don't forget to subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any future videos.